There's a bigger issue here. Just because a group of people belong to the Federation, it does not mean that they are saints. The trouble is Earth. On Earth, there is no poverty, no crime, no war. You look out the window of Starfleet headquarters and you see paradise. Well, it's easy to be a saint in paradise. Out there, all the problems haven't been solved yet. Out there are no saints, just people. Angry, scared, determined people who are going to do whatever it takes to survive.
What I want to know is, out of all the stories you told me, which ones were true and which ones weren't?
My dear doctor, they're all true.
Even the lies?
Especially the lies.
On behalf of the Bajoran government
And the Promenade Merchants Association,
I officially welcome you to Deep Space Nine.
Welcome back to Especially the Lies, a Deep Space Nine podcast, where we're going just a little bit retro this week, and we are going to discuss an episode of the original series. We're going to talk about Mirror Mirror here this evening. And we actually have a special guest with us for this one, Kevin.
Hey everyone, it's Kevin from Grace 17. How's everybody doing?
So yeah, we brought Kevin back over for this one to join us for this discussion. Kevin is a longtime fan. You want to tell us a little bit about your feelings on Star Trek real quick before we jump in?
Fandom? Well, I've been watching Star Trek since I was a very little kid. My brothers got me into it, and I'm sure I saw either Star Trek 2 or Star Trek 3 for the first time, probably 4 or 5 years old, I'd imagine. And I've loved it ever since. I've always liked the original cast. And while there are episodes of the original series that are a little rough around the edges and a little tough to watch at times, this is pretty much quintessential original series material, and any top 5 or 10 list is going to have this episode on. The number of sci-fi tropes that came out of this episode is long, and this is probably the second usage of a parallel universe in a television show. I couldn't find any other than a old Twilight Zone episode. Yes, I love this episode. It's a lot of fun.
So in addition to Kevin, I am Blake, and with us is
Jessi,
Chris,
Emily,
and Christopher.
So Kevin, since you're new here, let's have you give us a synopsis for this one.
I'm just going to read the one from a website, I think.
Oh, this is going to be tame compared to what we've been doing lately.
Yeah, it's going to be tame. I've always been on the tamer side of things. A transporter accident places Captain Kirk's landing party in an alternate universe where the Enterprise is in the service of a barbarically brutal empire.
It's just so tame compared to some of the ones we've had.
Yeah, well, you could definitely make a few jokes about Kirk taking advantage of the fact that this universe has a captain's woman, which Gene Roddenberry had to suggest to some kids who kept writing in saying, yeah, I think the main show should have a captain's woman. He's like, ask your parents what that means.
Let's be honest, though, given Gene's Roddenberry relationship with women on the production of Star Trek, probably wasn't a stretch for him.
Well, it shows he did have a line.
Blurry as it may have been.
Blurry as it may have been.
So let's go ahead and jump in and get some first impressions on this episode. And let's start with Chris.
I really like the episode. I haven't seen too many episodes from the original series. I mean, obviously I know about it, but didn't really know too much to expect. But I really, really enjoyed it. 2 words sum up the entire episode for me. Nichelle Nichols. I mean, that maybe that's why I love the episode so much. I don't know. I was smitten the entire time. And funny thing is, so Prentice and I talk about old school movies a lot, and blaxploitation films from the 70s. And I just came across this clip from this blaxploitation film called Truck Turner, which is about the pimp life in the 70s. And Nichelle Nichols plays a pimp named Dorinda, I believe her name is, a female pimp. and her her famous line is, "Those bitches better learn to sell pussy in Iceland, because if I ever catch them again, I'm gonna cut their fucking throats." And I'm like,
Wow.
this is the last time this is the last time I saw Nichelle Nichols, and then I'm watching her on Star Trek. I'm like, that's Dorinda from Truck Turner, but really it's Lieutenant Uhura from the original series. But anyways, yeah, I really like the episode. Like Kevin said, noticing the different sci-fi tropes that have been used over and over again. I was wondering, I was like, did they come from this episode or from this era? And even though it was kind of like I've seen this before, it was still thoroughly entertaining to me. Kirk, speaking of pimping, I mean, my man doesn't miss. He's batting 1,000 from my point of view. So that was interesting. I mean, I don't know. It's the nostalgia too of seeing the original cast and seeing Spock and the whole crew. It was just, I really enjoyed it.
So in the last episode we recorded of the main show, Jessi made some comments about this was the episode with the hot young William Shatner. So Jessi, let's get your first impressions on this particular episode.
In all of my 44 years, I was trying to debate if I was going to say my actual age, but fuck it. I don't give a shit. I'm old as shit. I have not seen William Shatner young. Like, I've never seen an episode of Star Trek. I'm just not. I must be living in some kind of hole, because when I saw him, I was like, well, goddamn, he was fucking hot at one point. But then I realized that you guys must fucking hate me, because I'm still unsure why we're watching this episode, but you know how I feel about fucking quantum physics and fucking alternate timelines and
Buckle
time
up.
travel and fucking shit. Wasn't it you, Blake, that got me the book? Oh yeah, it was.
Yes, I did, because you love time travel so much in Babylon 5 that in our Christmas gift exchange, I got you a book on time travel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you were very appreciative of that book.
It was. And I actually started to like read it out loud online. Like, I was gonna record it and do a special, but I recorded the whole first chapter and realized that my fucking computer stopped recording, and then I just about threw the fucking thing away. So I never picked it back up. The episode was okay. I mean, it wasn't bad. It's kind of cool to watch. The graphics clearly are interesting. The lightning especially was like somebody's just standing in the background with a light switch, like on.
You're probably not far off.
But it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I think, I enjoyed it, but then I giggled because I was like, am I enjoying alternate timelines? I'm not sure. I will not admit to it.
I'm going to take that as a Jessi enjoyed an alternate timeline.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. I'll give you that.
Christopher, how about you?
So I love this episode. It's one of the most rewatchable of the original series. And I've stated on podcasts before that I have issues with the original series, especially like the sexism that is in it. And I know none of you can see it, but I have a goatee on today because this is Mirrorverse Christopher. The sexism works in this episode because they're evil, and I love it. This was a good episode. I enjoyed it, and it, like I said, it's just one of the best, one of the most rewatchable ones of the original series.
And Emily.
What's not to love about this episode? I mean, you have sexy Spock. I mean, he always is, but evil sexy Spock is even better, right? So Jessi has a thing for Shatner, but I love Spock. He's always been my favorite. And this is just a fun episode. And having the rampant sexism for the evil side is an interesting social commentary for sure, especially knowing the creator.
It's the ears with Spock, isn't it?
It's the eyebrows, actually.
There you go. So I agree with Kevin. This is one of the probably always makes it in certainly top 10 lists across the franchise, if not top 5 lists of episodes of Star Trek in general. And it's one that I enjoy just going back and watching as an episode. I don't watch a lot of the original series just because of some of it is absolutely painful to watch through. But this is one of the ones that I enjoy. It's a lot of fun. And it's funny you mentioned the graphics, because this is one of the things that I get in the pet peeve with Star Trek fans all the time that start in, especially on the newer series, of it doesn't look like the original series. Yeah, there's a reason for that. Graphics and things just don't over time hold up. Now, again, I don't mind going back and watching this, but you could not make a show, because this thing was basically cardboard, plywood, and some tape is how they did this. And all of the effects were practical. Like, they didn't have computer generated effects doing this. These were all practical effects that they were putting in. And they've done the remastered. So I don't know who here watched the remastered versus didn't. So I had it on the remastered, so I got to watch the one where they actually have gone in and put in the newer effects. Kevin, you probably watched the remastered also, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I watched the remastered on Paramount, so I don't even know where I would watch the unremastered, because I do not have the series. I have a couple episodes on VHS, but not this one.
Well, it's interesting on Paramount, because sometimes they're the remastered and other times it's not.
Yeah.
I have ran into that with Paramount Plus, where it's not always the remastered version that they're showing.
Yeah, the budget on this episode, I looked it up. It's about $185,000. And just to give you some context, Babylon 5 was also low budget, and their budget for their equivalent of season 2 is probably about $700,000.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And this one was what, 66, 67? And Babylon 5 was somewhere in the early 90s. So that's a humongous jump. So this was low budget, low budget. So when you say that there was a light switch in the back behind, you're not far off.
You're not far off. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into some general discussion around this one and get some thoughts. So who wants to kick us off?
I have questions.
Then let's have them.
Let her rip.
Why are we watching that?
You'll find out.
Okay.
Implications.
Okay, so there's some kind of dun 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 coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I have a reason for having you watch this, yes.
I just
it's
thought you hated me.
funsies.
As we've said, if you're going to watch a few episodes of the original series just to get some sort of perspective on Star Trek that came before what you're watching now, this is quintessential.
I wasn't going to, but here we are.
And it's kind of interesting because we're watching a show that's 30 years old. And when DS9 came out, the original series was 30 years old. Mm-hmm. And how much better it holds up, like just effects wise and everything, DS9 compared to the original series. And as you alluded to, Kevin, budget, they were on a shoestring there.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine going back and watching it and doing a review on it like this and having that be your first impression 30 years later and be like, what the hell are we doing?
I should have pointed out that Deep Space Nine, their budget per episode was about $1.5 million.
Yeah, 1.5 to 2.
So you're talking about such an incredible jump, which is why I mentioned Babylon 5, only because they were also on a shoestring budget. So Deep Space Nine was on an incredible budget compared to what the original series or even TNG was on. And they were able to do some really amazing things because the set alone on Deep Space Nine cost a ton of money because it was such a large set.
And I will say this, DS9 at this point is still using practical models.
Yeah.
So the station, the runabout, those are all models that they're doing. And Babylon 5 was all CGI.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
DS9, and because we talked about this on Grey 17, so I'm not giving anything up, is DS9 wouldn't get there till like late season 5 and then the 6 and 7 when DS9 would go fully digital with I believe they used Foundation Imaging is a lot of who they used. And then the budget jumped up to almost $4 million an episode when they started going to a lot of the CGI and replacing the physical models.
Well, and it's hilarious in this episode how their idea of flipping the script on the mirror universes, making the Enterprise orbit the other way, or them wearing their phasers on the other side of their belt upside down. It's just great.
And having little pirate.
Oh, they definitely look like pirates. That's exactly what they were going for.
They're space pirates.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's touch on the costuming real quick, because the main costume designer for the original series was William Ward Theiss, and he actually had what he referred to as the Theiss theory of titillation, was what he referred to his costuming theory, and it was, what is the least amount of fabric you can use to get past network sensors that will still stay attached?
Okay, did he also do that one TNG episode? You know the one.
Angel One.
Oh God,
He
yeah.
was the original costumer for TNG in season 1, and I
do
think
not
season
find
2.
that surprising.
Okay, because you said, "Can we get past the censors?" I was like, "Oh, I know. I've seen some costume."
The one with the Ito and where they were going to execute Wesley.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. That was William Worth Ice.
Yeah. Okay, just checking. Good to know.
Chris, you alluded to showing a navel was brand new in television at this point. They had done it towards the end of the first season, and there's apocryphal story about how they took the network censor out to lunch, and that's why they were able to do it. It's not true. They had done it the previous season, but this amount of naval showing was scandalous for the time. So seeing the gorgeous Nichelle Nichols and what is Barbara Luna in these costumes is definitely aesthetically for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. The amount of joy I got from seeing Nichelle Nichols in the alternate universe might have been a little bit too much.
Understand.
I was
And
just,
that's what the censors were concerned about.
yeah, they were concerned about corrupting the virgin minds of the youth across the country. But I thought it was funny how, for the Empire in the alternate universe, the way to get ahead was to kill your superior officer. So, Christopher, I wonder if would you enjoy the Navy if that's how people got ahead? If that's how you climbed rank?
That's not my cup of tea. I don't think I do very well in the Terran universe.
Well,
that's something they would
thriving.
That's something they would do later with the writing with the Klingon Empire. So they kept it in a certain way because they definitely talk about that in TNG and DS9, where killing your superior officer is a perfectly acceptable way of getting ahead as long as there's some reasoning.
Yeah, because when Riker transfers to the exchange program,
right,
and is the first officer on the Klingon, he basically gets warned by Worf that they will try to kill you to move up. It's like, cool.
Oh, that should be fun.
Oh man, it was like they couldn't wait. They were just waiting to catch somebody slipping so they can try and put them down and get that promotion.
Oh, and seeing Sulu being so power hungry.
Oh yeah,
was just
he
was
getting
so fun in this episode.
Serious acting to do in this episode was very cool because unfortunately he and Chekhov in a lot of episodes are just set pieces, so he got a lot to chew on. In
I will say the makeup on this one when they did some of the close-ups.
Oh yeah,
even the remastered could not fix how bad that fake scar looked on Sulu. Mastering could not fix that.
It was bad.
I was getting a kick out of the fight scenes in the original show where you can clearly see that it's a stunt guy because this episode's pretty clear. The Khan episode is super clear that you can see it's the stunt guy, and it's hilarious to watch now.
Well, they did that whole bit in Family Guy where what is it? The kid Mort. I don't know. It's been so long since I've seen it, but he's like in like the AV club, and he's like, "And this is Shatner stunt double, Shatner stunt double, right?" And you're right. You can see.
Well, that's in Spaceballs. That's why they did that. You idiots! You captured their stunt doubles.
Oh yeah.
So here's a question for our newbies on here. If you looked at the uniform colors, and Christopher, you've seen some of these, so you don't count. But so the command staff on DS9 is wearing red, security is wearing gold, and medical is blue. And if you look at the uniforms on this one, medical is still blue, medical and science, but they have swapped the red and the gold uniforms. So command in the original series is the gold uniforms.
Or green sometimes.
Or sometimes green.
That's just the captain.
That's just the captain.
It's just the captain's outfit. They did that in TNG too, where
this swarmy wraparound.
They gave the captain a different, and they've done that in Strange New Worlds as well.
Well, but let's be honest. Out of the captain variant uniforms, Shatner got wrapped in a
it doesn't look good.
In a little green wrap. Picard actually got a rather nice suede jacket.
I never liked his either, but I digress.
But speaking of Strange New Worlds, it was kind of nice that you got a Christopher Pike reference in this episode.
Yeah.
Speaking of killing to move up in rank, how evil Kirk killed Pike to move up and take over the Enterprise.
Well, the original script for this episode, it was not supposed to be the entire landing party that was supposed to get stuck. It was just Kirk. And that's one of the things they dropped. They also dropped that he was going to basically get rejected by the other universe. He was going to have some sort of physical problem because of it. Both things that they'll do in other science fiction, even Star Trek later on at different times. But that's one of the many reasons why this episode is so pivotal. It's because even the stuff they didn't put on film makes it into other episodes and becomes another trope.
Well, this was also the last time they mentioned Pike after the menagerie. So this was, well, it was the first time since the menagerie they mentioned Pike, but it was the last time they had mentioned Pike in the original series.
I'm having a I don't think I belong here moment.
Okay, but see, you've watched enough Star Trek that you're like, hey, Captain Kirk was hot, so you're fine.
Yeah,
you just don't have all the
that's about-
background yet.
I feel like you guys are speaking like a fucking foreign language and I don't know what's happening.
Because it is.
Just like, I'm sitting here thinking, you fucking nerds. You're a bunch of fucking nerds.
Okay.
Was it interesting to you to see an episode where it just completely flips everything on its end and you see an incredibly different version of characters that, well, you've never seen before in this particular setting, but
riveting, Kevin. Like,
oh, come on.
No, it wasn't bad. Like I actually did enjoy the episode, but all of the things that you guys are talking about, like the colors of the fucking uniforms. I'm sorry, were they wearing clothes? I don't remember.
Barely.
Barely.
I saw navels. That's all.
Your boy Shatner had that sleeveless, sparkly gold top on.
Watch out now.
he had the guns out for you.
You know, I didn't hate it.
There was a deleted scene where they show one of the production assistants backstage rubbing baby oil on Shatner's bicep.
Oh, she needs to see the Charlie episode where they wrestle in the tights.
Oh, geez.
Oh, God.
For Christmas.
That might have to be a future one. We'll show Charlie X.
And get Jessi's
serious
response.
Intoxication to watch Charlie X.
Yes, we will.
Just watch the wrestling scene. It's fine.
I miss Babylon 5.
Wow. Yeah. Charlie X is the second episode of the series, and it's rough.
A little bit.
That's why they put him in tights. They distract you from the episode.
Don't look over here. Look down here.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we want you paying attention there.
Not the plot, not anything that's going on.
That episode had a plot.
I don't know how that made it past the censors.
Let's go with the TVs were not high definition 4K at that point.
Right.
Yeah, true.
To your question, Kevin, about asking if it was kind of cool to see expectations flipped. And that's what I really like about this episode and the Mirrorverse in general, because Star Trek is like this utopia world. And then to just see how like totally shit humans can be, and how awful things could be. The idea that we're gonna get everything together and make the world a better place and go out into the universe and have love and peace, and that's great. But I think this is more reality, right? The idea that the Terrans are like, we can just blow you up and take your resources. We don't care. Going back to like DS9, I have to think like the Bajorans, they have to be a little bit afraid of Cardassians came and stripped everything from our planet. And now, the Federation could too, right? And like seeing this Mirrorverse, like just shows that it's not that far off.
Well, we call that delivering freedom and taking oil rights.
Serving up freedom.
We've done it several times.
Oh, we're definitely
never successfully.
We're definitely in the mirror universe right now. But
and I get the suspicion we're about to deliver some freedom to fucking Venezuela.
When we were talking about the stunt doubles, I was thinking that when I was watching the fight scene, but more so I was just like amazed at how alternate dimension Spock was just putting hands on every single member of the crew. Like everybody was getting served, and no, like it was crazy. And then even Uhura got gone to the wind, tossed to the side, and did her dramatic feint. But like, yeah, man, he was putting boots to ass the whole entire scene.
Boots to ass. I like it.
Is that so? But yeah, is that how Spock gets busy in the original series? Because if so, I might have to go back and watch a highlight reel or something because
It's how this
he
Spock
was getting
is.
it in.
The Pon farr episode.
Which episode?
Yeah.
Oh, Amok time.
Yeah.
Amok. Yeah. Thank
What
you.
in the absolute fuck? I really don't belong here.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a quick background on Vulcans. They go 7 years between mating. So when that 7-year period hits, shit gets wild. And there's an episode dedicated to that.
Shit gets wild is probably a fucking understatement. Once every 7 years, huh? It's like the Catholics. Oh.
Folks,
Hard
you
to
can
have
send
that
your
many
reviews
kids if you're
to
doing
especially
it
the
once every
live. Our
7
email and
years.
information is down below. But make sure when you comment on Jessi's commentary, give us that 5-star review and then tell us what you really feel about us.
And then I'll read it out loud for you.
Hey, Jess, how much DP action you think is going on after that 7
Man,
years?
listen.
Jessi on our last recorded episode learned what a DP was.
I did. Okay. First of all, I did not learn what it was. I just didn't fucking know what he was talking about. And then when I looked it up, I was like, oh. It said the very first one, you guys were like, Google it. I'm like, cool. I look it up. It says displaced person. I said, that's definitely not what we're talking about. And the very next one is donkey punch. I was like, oh, yep, there it is. Absolutely fucking idiotic of me not to realize that we donkey punch people here on this podcast.
And there's the intro.
It's better than talking about fucking Klingon AIDS and fucking children. God damn it.
I feel attacked. I really do.
Probably should. That's
Lies with Jessi.
It's probably a fucking accurate statement.
All right. So we can talk about something a little bit more serious because I want to bring this up. I really wish that they had written women better in this time frame because they were even very inconsistent in the episode about how they wrote Uhura, because in one scene she's afraid to do this or afraid to do that and needs Kirk to give her a pep talk. And then in another time she's obviously very capable and very confident. And then they flip back to it again. She can't even look when someone's barely getting hurt with the agonizer in the first scene when they're in the mirror universe. It's just crazy to me how they so inconsistently wrote women in this time frame. It's ridiculous.
She's lucky she's not in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Really, for this time frame, though, having a black woman on the bridge in command staff.
Oh, for sure.
Was something.
Yeah. I mean,
but she's also the only person on like the bridge crew of the original series who never sat in a captain's chair, right? So she's groundbreaking in that regard, but then they also are excluding her from leadership.
I think it took Chekhov until Star Trek V to be in the captain's chair, but I take your point very much. She definitely is treated very, very, very differently. I mean, literally, Martin Luther King Jr. begged her to stay on the show because she was so groundbreaking and it was seen as incredibly important. And she did, to her credit. I'm glad she did. I'm sure she's glad she did. But it was probably not easy for her at any point in this decade, especially.
She talks about it in her book. And I believe, if I remember right, the actual color of the binding on her book is like command gold. I'll go grab it and we'll find out.
Yeah. I think the reason we were just getting back to something silly for just a second. I think the reason they switched the coloring is just because they thought red would look better on screen for TNG. It's just a really kind of dumb reason they switched up the colors.
Yeah. Underneath the dust jacket, it looks like command gold.
Yeah. That's why Strange New Worlds has been so great for the Uhura character. Not that the the Abrams universe wasn't, but especially Strange New Worlds has been great for the Uhura character because they've written it much more deeply. And man, I wish that Nichelle Nichols was still around to see how they are writing the character now.
Yeah.
Because
she's a fully fleshed out character.
Mm-hmm.
She'd be so proud of it.
Yeah, she was way more talented than they usually let her display. Since we did talk about the Charlie X episode, she does sing in that one. So that's really cool because that showcases one of her talents.
Do you think it was because of the show, the writers and the producers of the show didn't want to or were hesitant to? Or do you think they were reacting to what they believe how the audience would receive it? The audience wouldn't receive it well. And even though they may have wanted to, they didn't obviously want to piss off the audience, so that's why they didn't do it. Do you think it was more reactionary to the audience and what they expect the audience to think, or was it something innate in the writer's room and with the producers of the show?
I thought it was the writers and them not knowing how to write a strong female character. My understanding is women fans were actually the strongest vocals to keep the show going, like starting the fan clubs and stuff.
Well, and I think part of it too is because the way the networks at this time period worked and were locally owned, because a lot of this was before the major network groups like Sinclair, Nexstar all started up. So these were locally owned stations. I also think there was a lot of concern over how far could you push it and the stations still keep the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and wasn't one of the notes from the studio and from that they had to get rid of number one?
Yep.
Correct.
That they had to replace her with a man.
Yeah. Yep. And they made the actress a nurse because that was an acceptable vocation for a woman in the 60s, but being number 2 in command wasn't.
And she was sleeping with Gene Roddenberry and had to be cast in something.
Can we not? You got to give the writers some credit. I mean, this is groundbreaking for the time.
Right.
I think season 3 has the first interracial kiss on television.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to give the writers some credit and Gene Roddenberry some credit, but it's probably a mix of both. I would say, Chris, would be my guess.
Okay.
That they weren't sure how society would accept it, and maybe it was them putting pressure on themselves not to go too far. Who knows? But it's probably a little both, would be my guess.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. It was just interesting to see because I was thinking about that. I always knew that diversity was kind of one of the things that Star Trek was known for early on. And you see Sulu and you see Uhura and in prominent roles. And it was just how far, I was just always curious, how far did they go with the diversity? Because I haven't seen many of the episodes. So to hear you guys talk about it, I was interested to hear if it was just a reactionary thing or something that, again, was innate within the writer's room. Because another thought that crossed my mind was, were they of the mind of, well, look, we got a diverse cast, right? Like no other show has a cast that's diverse as ours. That's enough. We don't need to do more. Like, was that kind of the sentiment, or it was just one of the things that came across my mind?
And they did do some addition because there's the episode, and I'm blanking on its name, but it's got the species where they're the same species.
Black, white. That
one
episode.
And one of them's black on the right side of their face and white on the left, and the other's black on the left side of their face and white.
Let that be your last battlefield.
But that episode really did get into some conversations about racism and, frankly, the stupidity of it. As everyone's going, what's the difference? What's the problem?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So this show did have some points where it did that.
Yeah. Well, and that's season 3, and they were even pushing the envelope even more in season 3 than they had in the first 2 seasons. So, and I don't know what exactly led them to cancel the show after the 3rd season.
Ratings,
I would assume, but you're right that women were a driving force behind the writing campaign to get it to a season 3 to begin with, and then have the movies made later on because they had such such interest in that. Thank God.
And then we get pushed out of the fandom.
Yeah.
Humans are really wild, dude. Because, like, I'm sitting here listening to you guys talk, and, like, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm a woman. Thank you for not assuming. But
You're not making a sandwich. How would we know?
I know. My feet are
And
not.
you have opinions. That's not allowed.
Right. But it's just so wild because, like, you have an Audi and I have an Innie, so you're better than me. Like, that doesn't make any fucking, like, as a stronger opinioned female. Like, I don't.
Really?
I know. Shocking. Newsflash. Watch out, Argentina. I'm coming for you. So I just like don't. I know that we have always lived in a world where women have been the lesser, but like listening to you guys talk about, oh, well, they can't write her into a leadership role or they can't do this or that. Why? Because she has a vagina? Because she's like, this doesn't make it's just, it's not surprising to me because, again, I'm a woman and I have constantly battled snakes who do not believe that women should even open their mouths and talk, let alone milk them. But it's nuts to me that we're still, when did this come out? The 70s?
60s.
60s. And in 2025, we still have people that feel the same just because my mind doesn't stick out. It's fucking strange.
Jessi, this is exactly why you should be chained to a stove and not sitting on the Zoom with men talking about complex sci-fi shows.
It's clearly above your head, woman. Like my
Duh.
my dad.
Who let you off your chain?
Right. My dad would be like,
and I guarantee there are going to be people who are going to criticize us for talking about this and critiquing the fact that they wrote women poorly. And because we have to take it from the time that it was in. No, we don't. We can still say it's wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
We can still say this makes it hard to watch.
It's funny.
And I think we should be clear-eyed about how it was both groundbreaking and terrible at the same time. Yeah, for sure.
And so it is also interesting because Chekhov was Russian,
right?
Which, if you're familiar with history, having a Russian on a show in the late 60s was
who wasn't a comedic villain.
Yeah, was also fairly groundbreaking. So it is interesting to look back and see they were there and they were present, but no one knew how to really write them as solid characters. So you get like that first step, and it's also not surprising they weren't sure how to write them as solid characters because like no one had done it.
Aliens, like, dude, we're humans too. Like, just because
you would think so.
Boobs doesn't mean I'm fucking like a foreign fucking concept.
I know, but it's shocking. Like, how could you not figure out how to write like a solid human being?
Real quick, since Chekhov came up, Jessi, did you recognize the young Mr. Bester?
Yes, I did.
Just wanted to see if you caught that one.
You know what I thought? I like, oh, there's the guy that Emily fucking hates. Like,
so there's actually a meme.
Though.
There's actually a meme out there that's the crew sitting on the bridge of the Enterprise, and the view screen shows Babylon 5, and it's got the station saying, "You're cleared for shore leave, except for that Russian guy sitting over there."
It's a wild fucking concept to think that people can't write for a woman. Like,
because the men were writers. And as we have seen, still in 2025,
there were so
men
few
still can't write
writers.
women.
But the original series did have some female writers, but they couldn't even let that be known.
Right.
DC Fontana, who wrote some very good episodes of this series, was a woman.
Well, why do you think she went by DC?
Correct.
Exactly.
Because at this time you couldn't do that. You had to.
Mm-hmm. The other
I'm
thing,
gonna shut up because there's something else I could say that would make me a Kevin.
Yes. To ruin a plot point. Yes.
Unleash the inner Kevin, Blake.
I thought the same thing.
Yep.
The other thing you have to remember when you're watching the original series is that it is not an ensemble cast. It's not written to be an ensemble cast. It is written for three people with set pieces for everybody else, except with some exceptional episodes where somebody gets something to chew on, like Sulu and Uhura got in this episode. I mean, Chekhov was almost a set piece. He did have that one scene, but TOS is not an ensemble cast. It was written for Shatner primarily, Nimoy, and DeForest Kelley. Which,
Yeah.
if you watch the credits, that's the only people that you see in the credits at the beginning of the episode. So that tells you everything you need to know. Everyone else is relegated to the end credit.
And it's also episodic.
Right.
So you're not really getting full story arcs for any character, which also can make them harder to write because they're here for this one. They're gone for the next 4. What are you gonna do?
Even the Doctor got so little character building in the series.
Mhm.
The only 2 that got any character building at all were Spock and Captain Kirk. It was the only 2.
Yeah. So when you
Yeah.
combine that all together,
Right.
Yeah, I was going to say, you probably got to take into consideration who was in the writing room, one. And then 2, at the time, well, I think about now, when I'm writing a teleplay or a screenplay now, when I'm writing for different characters, I'm obviously haven't lived the life of female characters
Sure.
or certain male characters, different from different religious, cultural, racial backgrounds. But you do research if you don't know, or you talk to people if you don't know. But I say all that to say you put the effort towards learning
Right.
what you need to learn, or gaining the knowledge of what you need to gain, the knowledge that you need to gain in order to write a compelling, good character, whether it's a man, woman, whatever. And it just, I don't know, maybe this was just a way of the time. Again, it just didn't seem like they put forth that effort, right? It was, what do we know about women? Well, we don't want our women to be useless, but at the same time, we don't know how to write a strong woman. So we know, okay, well, every now and then they got to look to the man, right? For help or assistance. And some writers, maybe even some writers were writing, because what writers often do, I'm not saying that this is in every single scenario, but what I'll often do is in situations where I don't know, I think, okay, well, what would I want to happen in this situation, right? Or how would I react? How would I make a decision in this situation? What would I want to see happen here? And maybe the writers in that room were thinking, I was Kirk, or if I was in this position, how would I want the woman to react to me? And if you're not a very good writer, or if you're just a baseline writer, you're going to go with a trope, or you're going to go with a fantasy, right? I want the helpless woman with her navel out and body on point to fawn over me or to look to me for protection and help. And that could have been the case, right? I feel like there's a whole slew of reasons why they weren't able to write good female characters, or just good characters that weren't white males, right? But yeah.
I don't think this was limited to a Star Trek problem at this particular time.
Right.
Either.
Yeah,
You look at contemporary shows that you had. I mean, you had Bewitched, which was by no means a show that had strong developed female characters. You had that show basically revolved around, oh, you've got the genie or you've got the witch type thing. You had Bonanza. You had Andy Griffith's show, Gomer Pyle, a few of the. So I mean, there was. I don't think there was any show that you could say contemporary that nailed this or did any better.
No, because I mean that was the time, like that year. It was just a wild time to me. It's a wild concept. Thinking like as a capable vagina myself, like I just it's a wild.
There's our new
concept.
shirt. Capable vagina, new shirt.
It's crazy because you dumb me down to my sexual parts, which you've never seen. Like it's so fucking odd. It like just thinking about it, it's not new. This isn't a new concept to me. I clearly there are parts of even this country right now that women still fall very low on the totem pole, but like it's a fucking odd concept when you actually sit down and think about.
Well, and even at the end of this episode, when they show, they're clearly trying to make the point that this is wrong to have a captain's woman and she can be anything she wants to be, is one of the lines that Kirk says to her. But then the end of the episode, he's like, oh,
They go right and ruin it.
oh, they go right and ruin it because, Marlena Moreau is on this bridge too. Oh, let me go talk to her and try and woo her. Because don't tell me that's not what he was doing.
Oh yeah.
He's definitely hollering at her. So it's just, come on, man. Like, you completely ruined your own point. You stepped on yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Kirk's gonna be Kirk, right?
Kirk's gonna be. That's
gonna be
exactly
Kirk.
right.
Yes.
That really sums up all 3 seasons.
Yeah. It was interesting because, like I said, speaking of pimping, it was just so laden. It was just heavy with it. In any scene there was a woman in Kirk, it was like there had to be that tension there.
Oh yeah,
You
he even
know?
had his hands on Uhura when he's trying to comfort her in kind of a not a boss and underling kind of way.
A way that will get you called to HR.
Yeah, that
Right.
definitely gets you into HR. Yeah, it's
Oh man.
you just got to be clear-eyed about how this was groundbreaking and how it was also still problematic.
Sure.
Even though it was groundbreaking. And it's not going to be the last time because watch the first season of TNG and you will see what I'm talking about on a lot
Or
of
don't,
fronts.
just that one and go to 3.
Let's go ahead and grab any final thoughts. We'll just go around. Kevin, any final thoughts on this episode?
I've pretty much said anything I can think of at this point, but it is a fun episode. Check it out if you have never seen this episode or haven't seen it since you were a lot younger, because it's fun.
Emily.
I'm glad we did it. It was fun to go back and watch an early episode, and I do recommend that some of our newbies go watch Charlie X from season 1 of TOS.
Don't do it.
To watch a month.
No, you get to hear Nichelle sing and you can see Shatner in tights. I mean,
I want to see people who only have sex once every 7 years. Go watch.
okay, that's a muck time. That's season 2, episode 1.
A muck gone wild. I like it. Let's do it.
Yep, Spock. Vulcan's gone wild.
Vulcan's gone wild.
It's quite the fight. It's fun.
Christopher.
You know, I enjoyed this episode, and I did want to say one thing, that I found it so funny that the Terran people took so long to like figure out that they were what was going on, but like Spock in the regular universe was like, you guys, there's something wrong here.
Yeah.
Like, right away and threw him right in prison. And
Your
I
vibe's
just thought
off.
that was funny. Yeah, he's like, this is not right.
So what you're
But
saying is it's easier to act bad when you're
Mhm.
good than it's good to act good.
Right.
Pretty much.
But I enjoyed this episode.
Chris.
Yeah, same. I really enjoyed the episode. I need to scour the internet to find a Michelle Nichols in Mirror Mirror poster so I can put it up somewhere in my house because I need to see that at least once a day to make me feel better. I also thought it was interesting, or it was funny how evil Kirk had that like one shot kill machine in his office. Anybody, you looked at him sideways, you took the last cookie, whatever it was like you were gone. You had no idea it was coming. That was wild to me. He even showed his lady how to work it. It was like, she's like, yes, right over here. Press the button. She's like, who we killing now? It's just
Right.
Not password protected or anything.
nothing.
No biometrics, nothing. Come on.
Push the
Nothing,
little
man.
button and you're good.
Yeah. No, this was a really good idea to watch it. Like I said, I haven't seen too many episodes of the original series, so if I had to watch one, I think this is probably, according to what you guys are saying, the one to watch, and it was really, really fun.
And Jessi.
Yeah, it just makes me mad. I'm not mad. Usually I am, but not today. It makes me sad that Scott's not here to see it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is such a him thing, and he would have gotten such a kick out of me having to watch this shit. So it was great, but it's a little in the feelies too.
That's why I brought up the budget idea, because he was always talking about that. I was like, man, what would Scott bring up in this episode? And I was like,
It would have been a
definitely
woman
bring up
in a
the budget.
bookie wrapped in a blanket and a bed.
Okay, that's true too.
But he wouldn't have had a problem with it, and he would not be talking about how it was problematic. It would have been
Titties,
a highlight of the episode.
Christopher.
It would have been titties.
Titties. That's all that matters.
So thank you for joining us for this special episode of Especially the Lies, where we discuss a little retro Star Trek. If you like this episode and how we're doing this and want to see us do some more of these, go ahead and leave a comment below or send us a message on social media or through our Discord server if you're on that. You can also join that by being part of our Patreon at any level. That'll get you access to our insanity over on Discord. But let us know if you want to hear some more of these retro episodes, and if so, what episodes we should subject Jessi to next from either the original series or the next generation.
Enterprise.
I'm sure we could watch
Oh,
Code
I
Off
love
and have a
Enterprise.
fun
Oh yeah,
conversation.
let's definitely watch Intermirror Darkly.
Yeah.
Or
No.
I can't wait until Jessi finds out what a tribble is.
God.
Your Tribble and my Tribble are totally different definitions. So, yep. On that note, thanks for joining us.
Some tribbles even have teeth, Jessi.
Oh my God.
And they screw like rabbits.
Holy fucking shit. All right. It's past my... I need to get back to the kitchen.
And since we are releasing this on New Year's Eve, Happy New Year's to everybody.
Ooh,
be safe,
Happy
be
New Year's.
responsible, and we will see you in the new year.